Sign up today.
The following is a presentation of TFNN.
Okay, I'm ready. And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour. It doesn't matter whether you're in Timbuktu, Kalamazoo. We love to come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Well, we've got an interesting market out here. We got very few short positions, so not really surprised that we're only up 13 points on the S&P cash. We're balanced on the razor's edge of 3,900 on the S&P cash. Not any volume up or down this morning. Started thinking about putting on some positions, was thinking that market might rotate lower. And we're getting a little bit of weakness here, but I mean, it's pretty tiny. So the old saying, don't be short a quiet market. Well, this is about as quiet as it gets. The TLT was printing sub 148 this morning. That's where you would suspect that people would start paying attention with bonds and all. Started seeing a little bit of selling and them kind of moving into that TLT earlier in the morning. Got to 149.26 down on the open of 148.30. So it's not a huge move out here, but certainly, as we talked about back up at 158, this is going to continue to put pressure on those companies in the markets that need cash. If you don't need cash, then it won't bother you if you got a big, huge amount. But it's the part of the economy where people have to actually get money. Government, of course, looking like it's going to spend everything it can find and more, and starting to look a little bit like the early 90s, where the bond market put the kibosh on heavy government spending. We shall see. But as I said, pretty much all cash. I was thinking that there might be a reversal out here. I put in some orders if the stocks went in a certain direction. Never got that in some of my longer term thoughts. But yeah, it's a very thin market. So far, the volume on the moves up and down throughout the day don't give you a real clue. We've got, of course, going into options expiration, which is delta neutral on Wednesday. That means we're probably going to see some up and down, but generally by then, if the market hasn't cracked, it is rare to see it crack between now or that date and the 19th. So could we just go out here and go sideways or stumble up to 4,000? Probably, if I was betting, thinking on the indexes on the S&P, we could just stumble up to 4,000. It doesn't have to, we got we got 2 weeks, 10 trading days. Well, about 9 trading days now. Could we just stumble up into those highs? Everything says that if the market was going to fail, now maybe it does it tomorrow, but if the market was going to fail, it would have done it today or tomorrow and been down to about 38.50, and at least retested the breakout area. We still may get that, but is 50 points enough to start piling on short positions in a quiet market? It's problematic. But we have a lot of stocks that have pushed higher with very little gusto. And does that mean that it's over? Not quite. Could we get some selling signals before the end of the day? Maybe, but I don't see a whole lot here. Would think that if the UVXY could break about 10.15, it's at 10.05 right now, maybe you get something. I just don't see anybody getting into that, and you would probably start seeing some movement in that if the big guys decide to do a little rug pull and bring this back down to 38.50. But as far as I can tell, volume extremely light on the upside, volume extremely light on the downside. We've got a handful of stocks that they're running. We'll talk about those today, and that's about it. I take it we're still going to break now. Hopefully we are. I'm listening for the music. There it is. When we come back, we'll do a little history. We'll get into a lot of charts and earnings coming your way.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And let's do a little history.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Google Maps is launched to the public this day in 2005. I've never had to ask directions again. Not that I did before. But kind of an integral part of life now is you just give somebody an address, and Google Maps will tell you where to go. There's the odd story of people following Google Maps and driving right into a lake, which just happened. Got to be smarter than the machinery you're operating. But a lot of people have, you have to always worry about your stuff, whether you're an airline pilot or driving your own car. But it tells you how people continue to rely on technology and automation. Most of the big accidents around the world, especially in airliners, can be tied to automation, where people lose their skills. I suspect the same thing will happen. Had a couple of questions about Super Bowl ad, where Norway has a lot more percentage people that have an electric vehicle. And wow, I'm trying to remember when I actually started doing the segment about. I think it was 2013 or so. Doing the Tech Insider, but I don't think a lot of people believe or understand that back in that time frame, the Norway and Sweden, a lot of those folks were seeing their oil in the North Sea turn to dust, and of course they have huge amounts of electric power that they get from dams, and so it's kind of a no-brainer for them. They have, electricity for a penny a megawatt hour or something ridiculously small. And that's why you see a lot of the Bitcoin miners up there, anybody that uses or wants to use a lot of electricity or server farms and stuff, because it's just cheap. So it makes a lot of sense for them. But remember, when Teslas were $90,000, they were paying $40,000 to get people into Teslas. They don't do that anymore, as they found out that it doesn't work. I'm kind of rambling here on Google Maps, but it was some thoughts I had, because someone, I was talking to him last night about buying an EV, and I said, you know what? Buying an electric vehicle right now is very much like buying a used airplane. And that is, you have a motor. And if that motor has any problems, you got to tear it down. And it's $50,000 to tear down a motor in a Cessna 172. Get it replaced, put it back in. That means you can buy a $75,000 or $100,000 plane, and guess what? You drop a valve and it's $75,000. It's $50,000, half the price of the plane. And people that fly kind of expect it. I don't think a lot of people are going to think that one day they're going to have a $40,000 Tesla that they bought used, and it's going to take $20,000 to put in new batteries in it. That's kind of the way that I think about it. Why I've been talking so much about fuel cells, where you can take the fuel cell apart, rebuild it for $1,500, kind of like a car. And if you do it right, they'll last a very, very long time. It's not that I dislike electric. I dislike current battery technology. So maybe that battery technology gets better. I've had some emails over the weekend also on not solid surface, but I mean, I'm trying to remember the term now for it. Solid state batteries. And it depends on what you make, when you mean. Some people mean solid state batteries are actually aluminum batteries that eat the aluminum. Some people think that actually means that that if you've ever seen a battery, it's got the goo that leaks out of it. That goo that goes between it is semi-liquid. It's more of a paste-like stuff. That causes a lot of problems. So the thought is that we're going to go to something that resembles more like a hard plastic, and that will work. And some people think that the announcement by Toyota means that they've been able to get the price down. A solid-state battery using a permanent, I wouldn't say permanent, but a nice electrolyte that is solid cost about $100,000 in 2014. It would have cost $1 million to make a Tesla out of them 2 years ago. And the question is whether or not Toyota's actually, and some of the other folks have actually gotten it down. There are some big problems with solid-state batteries, and that one of them is cold. They work fine here in Tampa. They probably wouldn't work too well above the frost line a couple of 100 miles north of us. But if you live on the equator, pretty neat. Some people think that Toyota has solved that issue along with the incredible high price. They're working on manufacturing plants, but they're working on the machines. And, of course, the machines are going to eventually try to get the price down. But interesting interesting ad. But there's a reason why Norway has so many cars. The country literally paid people to buy them. But they're already running into some of those early cars out there in 2014 that need entire battery packs. And those battery packs have to be kind of the same one and about $25,000. And that's generally a fairly large ticket item. If someone has their car engine blow up and the expense is $2,500 now, that may be cheap, maybe $5,000, but certainly a whole lot less than $25,000 at one bounce. All the cold countries, almost all those people have the batteries in, or have the cars in garages, because especially those mid-year 2015 Teslas, they would, to keep the batteries from freezing, would use battery power to circulate warm water in it to keep the battery, so they'd only last 3 or 4 days outside in the cold weather. So that was interesting. Any thoughts on that? Yeah, Norway, tiny. Let's see on this one here. Just some thoughts. Oh, question here. What did I think of the halftime show? Oh, my word. Is it just me? Or is this weekend guy just an incredibly averagely talented individual? I would have rather them dig up some Ray Charles or something. I still think he would have been better. When we come back, ESPR, got some emails here with him. Now, I can think of at least 20 people. That guy, I don't understand why they think he's so great. Just my opinion.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And Asperion Therapeutics, what do I think of it? Going back into the huge spike of January 27th at 4.8 million shares. You got 351,000 shares today. So, yeah, it's just these biotechs all tend to be heavily shorted, so we better check that. Man, a lot of people were heavily short around 33 a couple of days. 30% shorts on the 1st of February. That was a high price of $34.89. So you're kind of going through that today. See what overall short like. Ooh, I don't know how many people are still short after this big run up to 39.50, but 15.55 days to cover, 18 days to cover the reporting period before compared to 13. So a lot of people short this thing. I'm not up on it, but certainly down at those lows, really didn't have a lot of volume. So not surprised that they took the shorts out to the woodshed up to 39.50. You don't have a lot going on here. Could it get up to $38? Like I said, I think the market can kind of just ramble up over the next week through options expiration. Problem is, if you get any surprise, the market is not incredibly strong. So I think you'd have to be quick on the mouse button to be long, or be in a stock like this that has huge short interest. I would imagine a lot of that short interest came out on that pop, but probably not all. Probably still have some room to squeeze some shorts out. Let's see, do we have any other here? It was a nice a mask nightmare. It wasn't fun. I didn't think. Okay. Go into some of these. Up 14 points on the S&P cash as we speak. Take a quick look at volume. Better than you would think, mostly because earlier in the day when things were moving, it's very quiet. But we have a little over 10.7 billion shares as we speak. So not a quiet day there. But again, very early in the day, a lot of volume, and then it's all kind of peaked out. So let's start going and looking at what we have for earnings after the bell tonight. Most of the big companies have kind of started moving. CHGG, which is Chegg. Take a look here. Okay. Direct-to-student learning platform that supports students on their journey from high school to college and unemployment. Oh, doesn't say unemployment. Testing the high out here today. You got about half the volume you had previously on January 14th. It's 105 to 105. So light volume so far today. Did go to a higher high. Did close underneath it. Let's take a quick look and see on that one. Oh man, you had a lot of people wanting to short this thing back on the 3rd. 30% on the day. Back on the 26th, 25%. That's it. It's not that bad. But here's the number. And you don't like this if you're going into earnings, even if earnings aren't good, but are passable. This could be a problem. 8.6 days to cover in the last reporting period. So you went from 90 to 105. Didn't have a lot here. But again, even if it whiffs, there's going to be a lot of people willing to cover on any move lower. It's always the big problem in going short some stock before earnings. And you're right on the earnings, and it still doesn't pay off because there are far too many people like you wanting to cover as soon as the thing heads south. Okay, other big stocks. Simon Property Group, Take-Two Interactive, TTWO. Come on. Making new highs, not surprising up here. Decent volume. You were looking for about 900,000 shares. Got about 1.5 million shares so far already today. To 415 on that one. Oh, excuse me, 405 on that one. Take a quick look on that one. See TTWO. Well, no one's been short this one for a little while. Only 2 days to cover. So these are the ones that, if they do whiff, do tend to fall fairly quickly because no one's, of course, there to buy on the way down, and the natural buyers are gone. Okay, don't really have that much going on tonight. See what we have in the morning. Canopy growth. I know a lot of people are into the weed stocks. This thing's done nothing but go straight up. My guess is this is going to have a bunch of people that are short it too. CGC. Do I have that? CGC. I don't know why I don't have that. I'll have to update this later. I don't have the short date on it. Okay. Question about GLD coming in to across the email planes. Yeah, GLD on Friday. Yeah, we talked about CDE on Thursday with a caller. And, yeah, was it Thursday? Yeah. And I thought that kind of the low in gold would have been a Friday morning. Kind of ended up being, Friday early morning? 10 o'clock or something? Can't remember now. You bounced today, but you didn't have a lot of volume in CDE. GLD, let's take a quick look at that. Yeah, just got a pop, but certainly not much on volume. One of the problems you have down here is you really did test the previous low with at least the same volume. You would have liked to seen it really shrink. You got 13.7 million shares a couple days ago, opposed to the November 30th low with 13 million shares at 166.03. So, I mean, was I expecting a whole lot? You got it. You certainly don't have a lot of volume. Sometimes gold is that way, though. Sometimes it takes a while for everybody to get excited. But this looks kind of like in a trading to me. Probably take some kind of announcement or Fed action or something to make this thing. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And other earnings tomorrow in the AM. We've got Centene Corporation. This one's one of the few out here at its lows, but you do have lighter volume as you press the December 22nd low. That was 57.56, 4.7 million shares compared to 2.5 million shares so far today. See what these guys have to say for themselves. Multinational healthcare enterprise that provides programs and services to underinsured and uninsured individuals in the United States. Its managed care segment offers healthcare plans to individuals through government-subsidized plans, including Medicaid. The state children's health insurance program, long-term services and support, foster care, Medicare plans. It's kind of interesting. It has come back on less volume off this $70.26 high. You do have a fairly decent low with a lighter volume. I don't know what they're going to say, but it doesn't look all that bad if you're just looking at the chart. Now let's take a look and see what they have going on underneath the hood. Not a lot of short positions, 2 days to cover. So, yeah, looks like a nice chart. Doesn't have a lot that I'd like on there. If they do whiff, probably going to break that 57.27, and that takes you back down to 48.81, that March 23rd low of 2020. So, you might be able to find a little bit of support at 53.60, that September 23rd low. But it looks to me like if you bust here, you're probably going to eventually bust that September 23rd low. 2 takes you back down. Don't know why this would look so horrible. You'd think it looked better given the political climate, but not so much. Okay. Okay. Also, Cody. COTY, another Kardashian adjacent company, got to 820 today, pre-earnings. Really has a lot of gaps all the way up to about $10. Was very short, now only about 1.5 days to cover. And you really haven't had anybody short this thing since it was about just under $7. So fairly quiet, but maybe something will do well in a post-COVID world. Okay. So that's Tuesday. Okay, after the bell tomorrow night is Twitter. Saw that they were talking about once again changing their business plan. Generally, if you have a good business plan, you're not talking about changing it. Okay. Spike 59.60 today, gave it all back. You really wanted about 29 million shares or 50 million shares, but even at 29 million shares would have been the more generous version of that. You got about 12 million shares. My guess is that they are probably going to talk about challenges going forward. I would be out of them for earnings. Also, tomorrow night on earnings is Cisco, the one that makes, what am I trying to think? Makes routers, not the one that delivers food to the restaurants. It is also hitting a high on lighter volume, $48.57, the February 12th high. 32 million shares into that today with 15 so far. So you're starting to get a lot of stocks pre-earnings, though, so we'll have to see what they do on Wednesday. But they do look like they're going to sit right up there on earnings going into it. Also tomorrow night, LYFT, Lyft. Now this is, again, man, how many of these stocks charts are all going to look the same, which is right back up to some major level with no volume. February 11th, $54.50, 20 million shares. Today you got less than 4 as you go. You went a quarter above it and then pulled back in. Wow. Again, if you're long these things, I'd be out of them for earnings. You can always buy it back, but pretty light on the top. Okay, LYFT. Okay. Yeah, you got some decent shorts in this. About 4 days to cover on this. But you did test the high with a whole lot less volume. Man, these would be great patterns if they didn't have earnings tomorrow night. Akamai Technologies, also Tuesday evening, AKAM. Okay, this spike came back down, fairly decent volume, kind of trying to come back up. AKAM. Well, some fairly decent shorters in this one. 5.5 days to cover. 121.91 is that high. You haven't really had anything in the way of volume in this cup that really kind of comes out here to the right and today on light volume. But I don't think anything's going to change that much. Maybe a good explanation on why the market's gone sideways out here. You've hit a lot of these previous highs today. You've done it on much lighter volume. And, of course, they're all going to have earnings in the next couple of days. So you kind of have to keep an eye on that. But I've never really thought that you can make a lot out of it. Okay. Wednesday, we've got Coca-Cola, General Motors, Under Armour, CME Group. Do you have anything else exciting? Nothing much. That's Wednesday morning. Wednesday night, we get Uber. Let's take a quick look at that. Okay. 2.5 days to cover. Again, man, talk about charts making a signal out here. Another one making previous high with half the volume so far today. January 14th on Uber, $60.03, 26 million shares, 13 million shares today. It's gone over it and pulled back into the trading range. Energy up and down is about the same. So not getting a big signal. And, of course, pre-earnings not going to do much. Question about AMD, which we'll get to when we return. And the move higher today. volume's just okay. Back into a downtrend, 73 million shares, 36 today.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And question via the email, if I can find it now. There it is. Question about AMD, looking for to get back in AMD fundamentally versus the technicals. What do you have? Why the spike today? Somebody bought a bunch of calls, and then everybody else started seeing it, and then they started chasing it. So everybody always thinks that someone else knows something. As far as I can tell, this is a bounce back into this big gap down. That big gap down happened on the 27th on 73 million shares. As I said, up on 63 million shares. Kind of looks like kind of the last leg where you just kind of stumble up on no volume in a move. Now, maybe we start seeing volume in the next couple of days. But just the entire market, the stocks we looked at today, maybe it's just waiting for earnings. A lot of new earnings coming this week. But it certainly looks like we're at some inflection point where we're going to either break out and go back to 4,000 on the S&P cash or go back and retest 3,850. Just a very quiet market other than that. Got into that. Answer that question. Okay. Okay, just wrapping up the day here. Let's take a quick look before we go. 3902. So we had every opportunity today to bust through 3900. Little psychological issue, and maybe go retest 3850. But not doing that. As we said, volume pretty strong early in the morning. Not so much now. We were at about 11 billion shares when we talked earlier. 11.3 now. So again, kind of quiet, maybe the calm before the storm. A lot of earnings this week. Maybe that'll be the catalyst to either move higher or lower. Right now, all quiet on the Western Front, the 3,900. Sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat.